I mean, we all knew, right? We all knew what was gonna happen. You feel me? Um, it's just weird how I keep seeing a pattern of every person or every, how can I say this? Every notable boxer and legacy in the legacy of boxing, right? For some reason, goes against Jake Paul and forgets how to fight. It just doesn't know what the they're doing. It just doesn't make sense. You feel me? But I think, bro, people have been caught on. But I think as time really goes on, the nigga is still gonna make his money. He's still gonna keep pulling the same. It's only a matter of time when somebody says the contract, nigga, and goes against the script and whoops his ass. It's only a matter of time. Unless he actually calls out, he actually fights a champion, which I don't think this is happening anytime soon. He's talking about some. He want to fight Gervonta Davis next. Like, do y'all see the battery that y'all put on this nigga back? Now listen, when he beat that one MMA fighter, what was his name? I don't really watch MMA like that, or UFC. What's his name, bro? He was like Tyron Woodley, right? I think that was his name. Ain't gonna lie, the knockout was impressive. Okay, I don't think that was a stage. I don't think those fights were staged. I think it was an actual competition. You feel me? A knockout was impressive. I was like, okay. From there, if he starts to fight more and more competition, his age, that's completely fine. That's a great way to start your boxing career because you already have the audience. No. It's come to a point now where we see this nigga Jake Paul's business plan, and there's honestly nothing we can do about it. We just have to endure this nigga Jake Paul going around thinking he's better than the heavyweight champion. Yes, he thinks he's better than the current heavyweight champion. Let's watch this video. Let's refresh. Let's watch this video.
Alright fellas, Jake Paul just made his return against Chavez Jr. and it went just as well as we were all expecting. Now, the Paul camp are brilliant promoters. They managed to convince the boxing world that once again that a Jake Paul opponent would actually stand a chance. But as always, he was really no threat to Jake. Although, this performance will surprisingly see Jake officially ranked by at least the WBA. In post-fight, he called out the likes of Badou Jack, Zerto, Joshua and Tank. With so many potential names in the mix, there's a lot of paths for him to go down. So we need to break it all down, what happened in the fight, and more importantly, what this means for Jake's career moving forwards.
Bro, he's not gonna fight any. I'm gonna let y'all know right now. This nigga is not about to fight any of the people he called out. No, he's not about to fight. He's not about to fight them niggas. He's about to get another Uber driver, and then another 4-year-old man, then another Uber driver, and then a couple years down the line, when Gervonta Davis, decides he wants to retire, he's done. Then he's gonna beat his ass, and then he's not gonna shut the fuck up about it. I'm predicting it. That's literally what's about to happen.
Videos to help you stay informed, so make sure to subscribe, and I will always keep you in the loop. Now, from a common sense perspective, this fight was always destined to go the way it did. If you vaguely follow,
you need to kill your barber, nigga. Kill, headlock. Snap that nigga neck into pieces. And I can't talk, nigga. I need to kill mine too.
This fight was always destined to go the way it did.
God damn, who did your shit?
Follow Chavez Jr.'s career over the last, say, half a decade, you would have seen his decline. Even to the likes of Uriah Hall, Chavez Jr. was no threat. It was clear why the Jake camp chose him. He was undersized, horrifically past his prime, mentally weak, and had little to no chance at truly winning. Although he had a hugely marketable name. And MVP Promotions did fantastic. They somehow managed to convince the boxing world once again that Chavez was a threat. With pretty much the whole public not really realizing his career was really over about a decade ago. and we saw exactly that in the fight. Although Chavez looked
Yeah, I was watching that. I ain't gonna lie, like it's like everybody goes up against literally forgets how to box, like the fundamentals and everything. Like I'm like either that or they just don't punch at all. They don't swing. They don't do anything to counter this nigga Jake at all. And then when they do end up countering him, they going for a clinch. Like why? Why are you clinching this nigga when he's hurt? Why? Why are you why?
in shape compared to his last few outings. Once the first round started, it was clear it was just going to be more of the same. Chavez did not look prepared for the fight in the slightest, and Jake would take clear advantage of that. He switched into gear, just throwing jabs, 1-2s, simple combinations, over and over. What did Chavez do? He didn't do anything.
Literally nothing.
The first half of the fight was a glorified punching bag. He sat in front of Jake, throwing nothing and allowing Jake to just tee off on him. Occasionally Chavez would attempt to throw a hook, which was really just telegraphed like a baseball pitch, but that was about it from him. What was clear though was the later the fight got, the more...
Who the f throws a hook like this? Come on now.
About it from him. What was clear though was the later the fight got, the more Jake got tired. Jake has a lot of muscle on him, which he packed on to fight Tyson. So to carry that muscle, it gets tiring. So by the last couple rounds, Jake basically had his hands at his hips, and this spurred on Chavez to actually try and throw a punch. And it was all a bit sad that Chavez was celebrating winning the 9th round. Like he did nothing the whole fight, but hey, he won the 9th round, time to celebrate. But it was too little too late from Chavez. Jake won a clear unanimous decision win. Although, it was just more of the same from Jake, it was nothing new. I would debate Tyson looked more competitive than Chavez did for most of this fight. Chavez was a human punching bag for Paul, and the blueprint to beat Jake isn't that hard. He doesn't like pressure, you push him backwards and actually try to throw a punch, and he panics. He doesn't like punches coming his way, but it's boxing. You can't swim without getting wet, you can't box without getting hit. But so far for most of his career, he's managed to avoid much actual exchange.
That's what I'm saying. In the fights that he do be scripting, my nigga, it's like when he does get accidentally stunned or whatever, or when he gets clipped, he gets hurt, instant clinch, and they don't even be throwing no crazy, and this nigga gets hurt. They don't even be throwing no crazy, and this nigga is wobbling. This nigga is up against the ropes. Like, bro, you just got hit once. It's the first round. Relax.
Find someone who can vaguely pressure him, it's gonna be a long night. So the question turns to after this, well, what now? Now Jake said a lot of names after the fight, and I mean a lot of names, and a lot of different names. Like saying you're willing to fight either lightweight Tank or heavyweight Joshua in the same sentence is pretty wild. So let's talk about...
Right, that makes so... That is a great point. Why would this nigga call out Gervonta Tank Davis when he's nowhere near his weight? Nowhere near. You think that's actually about to happen? And there's no way this nigga Gervonta Tank Davis actually moves up weight to fight you. That's not gonna happen. So either you move down, or that is never happening. Never. Or exhibition, which is probably not happening.
One major consideration in all of this is he's going to be ranked. And to me, that's pretty sad. Jake is going to be ranked at least by the WBA. At least that's what everyone's saying. Am I surprised with any of this? No, I'm not. The WBA president has been keen for ages now to put Jake in a position for a championship. Like we're talking about the same belt president who just gave an honorary belt to Shakira. Why did he give a belt to Shakira? I don't know. But it's just all about attention. If Jake actually ranks anywhere near the top 10, I think it's a pretty big disgrace to boxing and to all genuine boxing.
He better not. This nigga better not be top 10 rank of all time. Top 10? He's one of the greater boxers of our generation? You think so? That's an actual question. Do y'all niggas really think Jake Paul is going to go down as a boxing legend? His legacy is going to be him being a great boxer going up against great opponents. Deadass. You gonna look me in my face and really tell me that this nigga is about to cement his spot in the legacy of boxing? For real? Nigga, the boxers don't even like him. The boxers don't even like this nigga.
Climb the ranks genuinely to be leapfrogged by a bloke who is yet to fight a competitive fight is.
Oh shit. What's good, my nigga? Hold on. What's good, my nigga? Rush on. I've been great, my nigga. Almost forgot to say your name.
And who is Jake versus since
that big ass butt?
Year-old Mike Tyson, a Chavez who didn't want to throw back, and he now deserves to be in the rankings? No, I don't think he does.
Hell no.
Probably happen, and we're gonna have to get used to it.
Before that, honestly, he should have just rematched Tommy Fury. I would have respected him more if he did that. Cause like, damn, that's the one. My nigga, if you're undefeated, in the only nigga to ever beat you is Tommy Fury, why would you not rematch that? Like, would you not rematch that? And if anything, I feel like that would get a lot more attention. Because he's the only nigga that was able to actually beat your ass. And you know why? Because he was a boxer your age.
Let's get that ranking. It's going to put him in a position to fight for a title. With him then being able to challenge Zerto, who was the co-main for this event. Yet in the post-fight presser, it sounded like they didn't like how Zerto didn't do much to help with promoting this event. And as well as this, I don't think it's a big enough fight to really get Jake off the couch. At least commercially. He knows he would lose to Zerto and it wouldn't gather too many eyes. So honestly, why risk it? Even though they did a face-off in the post-fight press conference, I just can't see it happening. As I said in my previous video, the most likely path I could see Jake following if he wants to go down the title route would be a fight against Badou Jack. In my opinion, he's probably the weakest current champion out of the cruiserweight division. Jack was a fantastic boxer a long time ago. But time catches up to all of us. He's almost now 42.
Oh my god, that's literally what he's about to do. Why would you give him ideas? Oh my gosh, because it really don't matter, bro. Like, it don't matter how good you are as a boxer, my nigga. If you are at that age, like, there's nothing you could possibly do. If you don't got a few songs, also YouTube video is really quiet. It is? Yeah, send that.
Jake was going to take that risk for a belt.
My bad, birdie.
Although I think Jake would only have a slim puncher's chance, it's really his only chance at actually getting a belt. Although he would have to be ranked with the WBC for that to happen. And I guess over the upcoming days we will find out if he's actually ranked and if that is a possibility. Aside from the cruiserweight division, he did mention names such as Tank Joshua and Tommy Fury. So let's start with
Anthony Joshua?
Well, Joshua.
Yo, this nigga's delusional, bro. He's actually delusional. Because in his mind, he really believes that he can beat Anthony Joshua. Jake Paul. That shit don't even sound right, bro.
He has a few fights left at heavyweight. Although I could see this fight being likely for down the road, it wouldn't be next. It would be a cash-out fight for both Paul and Joshua. It would be a huge promotion. Combine those two names and you probably sell out Wembley. Although I think it would go the same way the Ngannou fight went. At the end of the day, it's all about the money. If this fight ever does happen, it won't happen till at least late next year, if not the year after. Now, Tank is a genuine possibility. They had a deal signed which was meant to happen straight after the Roach fight. But then Tank drew his fight and of course that would have ruined the promotion for the potential Paul fight. So now he rematches Roach in a couple months. If he gets through Roach, I could see this fight happening next. It's relatively low risk for Paul, as it would be an exhibition. It would be a huge fight which would gather the eyes of the world, and it would be a relatively easy payday for both involved. In terms of...
I hope this nigga Gervonta Tank Davis puts his hands on Jake Paul. Because he might not be able to knock him out, because of the weight difference. But he can still put his hands on this nigga. And that's what I am hoping happens. If that fight ever happens. Please beat this nigga's ass.
I think it's unlikely. Tommy, from all reports, wants way too much money. And debatably, the only reason the last fight happened was because it was bankrolled by the Saudis. And that was kind of before Turkey's intervention in the sport, for your information. But for either fighter, I don't think this is great for them. For Tommy, yes, it's a payday, but honestly, he shouldn't need it. He should grab onto that victory and hold it tight. And for Paul, most people have forgotten the loss.
No, the f they haven't.
When Tommy is a horrendous style matchup for him. If this fight happens again, I just see Jake getting his head jabbed off all night long. At the higher weight, he is even slower now. And after showing minimal improvements, honestly, I think it would be more of the same for Paul. If I had to guess what's next, I reckon it could be that Tank fight. We're going to have to wait till August and see the rematch to find out if it can happen, but it was almost over the line before. And I think this time round it would be pretty easy to make. Yet honestly, it's a hard one to pick what's next. There are so many options on the table with nothing really being obvious. But I think it will really just come down to what's the easiest fight for Paul, which will make the most noise. But I guess only time will tell. But now I want to hear what you think.
My nigga, he is about to pick a random nigga off the street, give him a deal, and then whatchamacallit.